Hi, welcome to our tutorial video on how to adjust your pro basketball chair built by Top End. We want to discuss the hows and the whys of being able to adjust this wheelchair. The first thing we're going to talk about today is adjusting the rear seat height and the front seat height. Both are individually adjustable, and some of the reasons that you might want to change that are if you're looking for more balance. I know some athletes like to lower their rear seat height and have their front seat height a little bit taller. That's called having dump, and it's going to give you a little bit more balance and stability. Some athletes want to start to try and raise their seat up to see if some extra height is going to help their game. So just know in your pro basketball chair, you have the adjustability to be able to do both. That's a little bit about the why. Now I want to tell you about the how. Adjusting the rear seat height is as simple as opening up these clamps, and then you can back off the nut on the back side. You have to do it on both sides of the chair, and then you're going to be able to lower your chair and choose any one of these holes on here, and that's going to change your rear seat height. When you put the clamp back on, it's just going to be finger tight, and then as long as you can close that clamp. You want a little bit of resistance. You shouldn't need a hammer or anything to pound on that clamp to keep it closed. The front seat height, you're going to need some tools. You're going to want to refer to your owner's manual depending on the generation of pro basketball chair that you're working on. This specific chair is using a 10mm size bolt. So what you're going to do is there's a bolt through here and identical on the other side. You're going to hold this with an open face wrench, a crescent wrench, a socket wrench. Again, this one is 10mm. I'm going to remove this bolt all the way out. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side of the wheelchair, and I'm going to be able to raise and choose any one of these holes, and that's going to change the front seat height. Again, a lot of athletes are doing that, and we recommend you experimenting to find out the seating position that works best for you. Loosening up this clamp is a close-up of how you're going to change the rear seat height. It's a matter of opening up that clamp and then backing the nut out. You'll be able to remove that whole bolt and change your seat height, again, choosing any one of these. When you put the clamp back on, you shouldn't need a hammer to tighten down that clamp. It should be hand tight, but you do want a good amount of resistance so that bolt isn't loosening up. The front seat height is going to be this bolt right here. Again, refer to your owner's manual. This happens to be a 10mm size nut, and you're going to use a wrench on this side, a wrench on the other side. Remove the nut, take the bolt out, and you can pick any one of these holes when you replace it. As with everything with this pro basketball chair, you are going to have to adjust both sides because you'll be raising the front seat height or the rear seat height, and the whole seat has to move.